shocking allegations about Princess Diana's death. Authorities now reviewing the new and sensational claim that she was actually murdered by the British government.
She was the world's most loved princess, a symbol of care and a voice for change. But on a tragic night in Paris, Princess Diana's life ended in a car crash that left the world in shock and full of questions.
Reports from Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident.
Was it truly an accident caused by paparazzi, or was something far darker at play? Claims of conspiracy have surrounded her death for years. Some argue Diana was silenced for defying expectations and speaking her truth. Was it a tragic twist of events, or the result of a deliberate plan? The mystery lingers, and the truth remains unclear. Diana Spencer, from an ordinary life to a royal dream. Diana Frances Spencer was born on July 1, 1961, into a British noble family, the daughter of the 8th Earl Spencer and his first wife, Frances. Diana was the third of 4 children, and her early life was far from perfect. Her parents' marriage was troubled, and their eventual divorce deeply affected her. This turbulent family environment shaped Diana's personality, making her a shy, reserved young girl who often retreated into herself for comfort. But even with her quiet nature, there was an undeniable charm about her that made her stand out in a crowd. Her life took a dramatic turn in 1977 when she met Prince Charles, the heir to the British throne. Diana was spending time with her older sister Sarah, and their encounter was casual. However, little did anyone know that this meeting would set the stage for a romance that would capture the attention of the world. Diana, who had grown up largely away from the spotlight, suddenly found herself at the center of public fascination. She wasn't a princess yet, but her connection to Charles made her an overnight sensation. As their relationship progressed, Diana became a global icon. The media adored her, and the public saw her as a sweet, innocent woman who had won the heart of the prince. She had a timeless elegance and an approachable quality that made her beloved by millions. However, beneath the fairy tale image, there was an underlying tension. Diana's simple and natural beauty captivated the world, but the pressure of being thrust into the royal family took its toll. There were cracks in the seemingly perfect facade that were hard to ignore. Diana's relationship with Charles, while beginning like a fairy tale, soon revealed a much more complex and painful reality. It became apparent that Charles still harbored feelings for his former lover, Camilla Parker Bowles, and this created a rift between him and Diana. The emotional distance between the couple deepened. In 1994, during a highly publicized interview, Charles was asked if he loved Diana. His response, "Whatever love means," resonated deeply with the public and became a painful reminder of the emotional strain Diana was under. The coldness in his words only added to her insecurities. The pressures of being part of the royal family were immense. Diana was expected to uphold an image of perfection at all times, adhering to strict royal protocols. The weight of public expectations was overwhelming, and her personal struggles were magnified in the media. Every moment of her life was scrutinized, and the emotional toll began to show. Diana felt isolated, unable to express her true self or confide in those around her. The pressure to maintain the image of the perfect princess became unbearable. This emotional strain was further compounded by her sense of loneliness within the royal family. While the world adored her, the inner workings of royal life often made Diana feel like an outsider. The world saw a princess, but Diana saw herself as a woman struggling to find her place in a world that was not her own. She continued to be the people's princess, but behind the scenes, Diana faced an ongoing battle to reconcile her public image with her personal truth. After the wedding, the truth behind the fairy tale. On July 29, 1981, the world watched in awe as Diana and Charles exchanged vows in a grand ceremony that captivated over 750 million people. The media dubbed it the wedding of the century, and the couple became the face of a modern-day fairy tale. But for Diana, this seemingly perfect moment marked the beginning of a difficult and tumultuous journey. Soon after their wedding, Diana came to a painful realization. Charles was still emotionally tied to his former lover, Camilla Parker Bowles. The weight of this knowledge weighed heavily on Diana, and in a famous interview, when asked if he loved her, Charles gave the disheartening response, whatever love means. This casual remark exposed the deep cracks in their relationship and left Diana heartbroken. Royal life, which Diana had once dreamed of, was not as glamorous as it appeared. The constant public scrutiny took a toll on her, and the pressure to maintain a flawless image became overwhelming. Diana's role within the royal family, coupled with the increasing strain in her marriage, left her feeling isolated and emotionally drained. At one point, during her pregnancy with Prince William, Diana resorted to a desperate act, throwing herself down a staircase in what was later seen as a cry for help. The emotional burden of her marriage grew heavier with time. While the media continued to portray the couple as the ideal royal pair, the reality behind closed doors was starkly different. Diana's mental and emotional struggles became more visible as the years went on. Despite her outwardly perfect image, she was trapped in a marriage that was unraveling. Diana's journey through these difficult years was one of resilience. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, she continued to carry out her royal duties, all while grappling with the emotional chaos that threatened to break her. The world saw a princess, but behind the scenes, Diana was enduring the heartbreaking reality of a failing marriage and the crushing weight of being in the public eye. Motherhood, Diana's greatest strength. For Diana, her children, Prince William and Prince Harry, became her greatest source of comfort and joy. As a mother, she was determined to provide them with an upbringing that was different from the traditional royal way. Diana broke away from the rigid expectations of royal life to give her sons a grounded and normal childhood. She took them to amusement parks, fast food restaurants, and allowed them to experience the simple pleasures of life that many children enjoy. Her goal was to ensure they lived without the constant pressures and limitations of royal protocol. Diana's approach to motherhood was nothing short of revolutionary. Unlike many royal figures before her, she became a symbol of a compassionate, hands-on parent who prioritized her children's happiness and well-being over strict tradition. Her actions spoke volumes, and she was admired by the public for her down-to-earth parenting style. The way she allowed her children to experience life outside the royal bubble was a refreshing change, and it resonated with people around the world. It was a powerful statement about the importance of family and love, even in the midst of a life filled with expectations and scrutiny. Her role as a mother also gave Diana a renewed sense of purpose. She poured herself into humanitarian work, channeling her love for her children into her passion for helping others. Diana became known for her visits to AIDS patients, breaking taboos and showing compassion to those who were marginalized by society. She also led efforts to raise awareness about the dangers of landmines, taking dangerous trips to war-torn areas to shed light on the issue. Diana wasn't just a princess, she was a force for positive change in the world. Her legacy as a mother and humanitarian continues to inspire countless people. She showed that even in the royal family, there was room for kindness, compassion, and a dedication to making the world a better place. Diana's children, William and Harry, carry on her legacy of service and love, forever influenced by the remarkable woman who shaped their lives. The divorce, the end of royal life. In 1992, the marriage of Charles and Diana became a media frenzy. Tabloids relentlessly spotlighted their personal struggles, sensationalizing their arguments and infidelities. Diana's infamous 1995 interview, in which she revealed that there were 3 of us in this marriage, sent shockwaves around the world, giving the public a glimpse into the painful reality behind the royal facade. By 1996, their divorce was finalized, officially ending their turbulent marriage. While the conclusion of her marriage marked the end of Diana's royal life, it was also the beginning of a new chapter. Diana, once confined to the constraints of royal expectations, found her independence. She stepped into the world as a woman who could forge her own path, free from the pressure of her former life. In the aftermath of her divorce, Diana became more deeply involved in humanitarian efforts, channeling her energy into causes close to her heart. She used her fame not just for personal gain, but to raise awareness for issues that had been ignored for far too long. Her work with AIDS patients and her campaign against landmines were groundbreaking and showed the world her commitment to making a difference. Despite the pain and heartbreak she had endured, Diana emerged from her divorce as a woman who had rediscovered herself. She became a symbol of resilience, showing the world that even in the face of immense personal challenges, one could find strength and purpose. As she embraced her newfound freedom, Diana's transformation was inspiring. Her role as a global icon of compassion became even more pronounced, and her legacy continued to grow. Diana's divorce did not define her. Instead, it marked her rebirth as a woman who would leave an indelible mark on the world. The public watched as she took control of her life, and with every step, Diana proved that there was more to her than just her title. She was a woman who would forever change the way we saw compassion, strength, and motherhood. The fatal night in Paris. Accident or conspiracy? On the night of August 30th, 1997, Diana and her companion, Dodi Fayed, left the Ritz Hotel in Paris, attempting to escape the unrelenting attention of the paparazzi. They were in a private car driven by Henri Paul, who was speeding through the city streets. As the car entered the Alma Tunnel, disaster struck. The vehicle crashed violently into a concrete pillar, throwing the occupants into chaos. Dodi and the driver, Henri Paul, were pronounced dead at the scene. Diana, however, was still alive and was rushed to the hospital. Despite the best efforts of medical professionals, Diana succumbed to her injuries shortly thereafter. The world was left in shock, grieving the sudden and tragic loss of a beloved figure. But the circumstances surrounding the crash have fueled intense speculation. Some question whether it was truly an accident. Mohammed Al-Fayed, Dodi's father, has long alleged that the British establishment played a role in the tragic events. He accuses them of orchestrating the deaths of his son and Diana, claiming that they sought to silence her. Over the years, various theories have emerged, with many believing that the crash was not simply an unfortunate incident. Conspiracy theories have circulated, suggesting foul play and deliberate interference. The intense media scrutiny and the royal family's internal dynamics have led some to wonder if there was more to the story than what was officially reported. Despite multiple investigations, the truth behind the crash remains a mystery, with many still holding on to the belief that Diana's death was not just the result of a car accident. Her tragic end, combined with the numerous unanswered questions, has left a lasting impact on the public's perception of her life and death. While the official narrative points to an accident, the speculation continues as the world searches for answers to the circumstances surrounding the fateful night. Diana's legacy, a timeless story. Princess Diana's death in 1997 left the world in deep shock, but her legacy remains a lasting force. She continues to be one of the most beloved figures in modern history, known for her empathy, generosity, and dedication to causes that mattered to her. Diana's impact was not just in her royal title, but in how she connected with people on a personal level, transcending the boundaries of royalty. Diana's willingness to break free from royal norms made her a revolutionary figure. She was not content with the traditional, distant image of royalty and instead embraced a hands-on approach to her charitable work. She showed that the most influential people in the world could still lead with humility and compassion. Her humanitarian efforts were unprecedented for a royal figure, and she used her platform to bring attention to causes such as AIDS, homelessness, and the dangers of landmines.